Well, welcome back to Managerial Accounting. The purpose of this little mini lecture is to go over the last two exercises that were in your text for Chapter 6. So I'm on page 284, and there were two ones. You had one that you were asked to calculate operating leverage, and there was one you were asked to calculate the margin of safety. So two independent scenarios. Let's see if we can call them up and look at them. Let's share my screen here. There we go. So I'm looking at this electronically, whether you use your electronic textbook or you use the paper textbook. Number 5, you've got this information about Sung Sam as opposed to Samsung. Sung Sam has the following data, and they want you to calculate their operating leverage. So remember, the operating leverage is the relationship between the contribution margin and the operating income. So you have to look at that and say, okay, do I know what the contribution margin is? And contribution margin is defined as sales minus variable costs. So I know what my contribution margin is. And I know what my operating income is. It's $80,000. So you have to, on the basis of that, calculate the operating leverage, which is the relationship between contribution margin and operating income. So in a moment, we'll do that. And then the margin of safety. Margin of safety, that's defined as the percent that your sales could decrease and you could still break even. So what is the margin of safety? What percentage of sales could we endure without falling below break even? So to do that, the key information you have there, you've got the current sales and you've got the break even sales for the company. And that's basically all you need to know to get the margin of safety, because margin of safety has to do with the sales, which they currently are. If you reduce them by the sales at break-even point, that's the sales you're currently above the break-even point, and divide that by the current level of sales, and that will give you the margin of safety. All right. So with that background, what I would ask you to do here is resist the temptation, as fascinating as I may be to listen to, resist the temptation to watch the rest of the tape. Go and do problem 6 and do problem 7. And then come on back. So take a pause. Go ahead, go. I was serious. Go take a pause. Go do these two exercises and then come back. Okay, I was serious. Go take a pause. Okay, so for the exercise 6 on 284, operating leverage was defined as contribution margin, and you can tell looking at the income statement that contribution margin is $160,000. I'll leave out the dollar signs here. Contribution margin divided by the actual operating income. So the operating income is $80,000. So the operating margin is 2, or 2.0 if you want. All right. So what that means, if you had a 20% increase in sales, you'd have a 40% increase in operating income, because the contribution margin is the percentage increase that you get in contribution margin from each additional dollars of sales. Contribution margin of 2. And in the next one, you have to get the margin of safety. So the margin of safety is simply the current sales level. And the sales level here was given at 1,750,000. And the break-even sales were 875,000. And you got to take, after you subtract that out, you have to divide that by the current volume of sales, which is 1,750,000. So if you divide that out, you get 0.5, or you could say it's 50%. So the way I would interpret that is I could lose 50% of my sales and still break even. Okay. All right. That concludes our review of Chapter 6. So if you haven't done so already, go do the homework from Chapter 6 and then go on and read Chapter 7. So until next time, adios, au revoir, hasta luego. Enjoy your weekends, and I'll see you on Tuesday. Keep an eye on Brightspace, because I will post you probably a couple of notes over the next few days. Be well, everybody.